is a fun time for us because we're going to be reading the same novel together, and you're going to be completing a series of discussions in your Cyber Cafe small group that will count as your credit for this unit. Now, there are one of two things that can happen. First, you go through step by step. You do exactly what I ask you to do in the module and complete all of the Cyber Cafe posts just as you were supposed to on time, and you move on. Or some people don't keep up. They don't post the information to the Cyber Cafe, or they trying to go into the last minute and post everything real quickly. And that's not fair to any of the members of the Cyber Cafe group. So if that's the case, then that particular student did not demonstrate following the directions and reading the novel and will therefore need to take the final exam. So here's what's going to happen after the unit is over. As soon as the last post date hits, the next day you will receive an email from me that says either you completed the work or you need to take the final exam. Let's look at the module together. Now, the weeks may change, but the overview is the same. The introduction is the same. And the deal is going to be the same. This is going to be repeated in this particular video tutorial. There's a video overview of Great Expectations for you to watch. And what I want you to do is the next button as you go through here. Each time you complete one of the pages, click that next button in the far bottom right corner and go on to the next part of the module. Next, you're going to watch the film version. You're going to do this in the exact order that I have. If you try to click down into the assignments before going through the step-by-step process, I promise you will get lost. So go in order of everything that's going to be assigned. I'd like for you to enter into this with a great attitude rather than, oh, what do I got to do? I can't get through with this. Instead, I'd like you to take a nice deep breath and embrace this as a really cool opportunity to read a classic piece of fiction that's excellent. You know I'm not going to put in anything that's not good and that's worthy of your time, and something that you can discuss later on in conversation when you say, yes, I was dealing with the deeper themes in the context of the motifs of Great Expectations, and I discovered that Pippa, you can really enjoy having learned this. So the first thing we do is we watch the film. Why do I watch the film? Because many of us are visual learners. And if I hear the words spoken and I know what happens, then I place myself in a high mental position. Then, after watching the film, and let's look at this together just real quick. Back to this film version, you're going to go to your Cyber Cafe and decide as a group, there aren't very many people in your little cafe, and decide which version you would like to watch as a group. The library has this version, which many say is the best of all versions. It's from 1946, classic black and white. And that one is available straight through our school library. You can access this through your virtual classroom. If for any reason you have trouble logging in, you can always click Ask a Librarian for help. Or, if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch the BBC version free, or you would pay for it if you rented it. Or you could find other ways of streaming this. I believe it's available on YouTube. I'm not sure. But you would meet with your Cyber Cafe group and figure out how you're going to watch the version you've chosen. This is the snappy new 2013 version, and it's a star-studded cast, and it really is a good version. It is also available on Amazon Prime. There is a fee for that. See where it says you'd rent for $3.99. I hate for you to have to rent anything, but I want you to have a good experience. So whatever you need to do, and you'll visit as a group and make that decision together. This is the 1998 version. It doesn't stay very close to the story. However, the acting is so good Anne Bancroft plays Miss Havisham, and they've renamed her. They've adapted it to modern times. You're welcome to watch this version. However, I don't want it to confuse you when you are reading the actual novel itself. The options here and the options above stay strictly to the story. That one's an adaptation. But you decide in your Cyber Cafe which film version you want to watch. Then when you click the next button, it's time to start reading, and we go through the sections. And I have tutorials in there that teach you how to read classic literature. It's not nearly as daunting as you might think. I promise. When you've completed the study documents, you've read the assignments, and each assignment corresponds to a Cyber Cafe discussion. So, you finish section 1, you go to the Cyber 1 Cafe discussion, and you complete that discussion. There are instructions in each of these boards. You complete section 2 in the reading, and then you go to the Cyber Cafe section 2 discussion. Are these discussion boards important? Yes, they are, or I wouldn't have put them in the course. Now, these are due on the dates they are due. I can see in my grade center whether or not you posted your comments on the appropriate date. If you didn't, and you went in at the last minute and tried to throw in all your comments at the last minute, you'll get no credit for those. And if that happens, then you will want to take the exam. The exam is not a punishment. The exam needs to help you demonstrate that you understand everything in this novel. I'll show you the exam right now. Let's look at it. The final exam is a 3-paragraph essay, and it follows these instructions. I have given you step-by-step instructions about how to write that essay exam. Again, not a punishment. And I know I always have some students that say, can I do the exam if I just want to? And yes, you can. So when you explore the novel and you look through this assignment sheet, you will see due dates for each of these. And there will be instructions in each of those. If you do all of these discussions correctly and you follow the rules, and I can see clearly that you have read the novel, and I can so easily spot that, then I will send you an email saying you do not need to take the final exam for this section, and you will move on to weeks 5 and 6. If, however, I see that you did not complete these discussions, and there isn't meaningful content in there to demonstrate that you understood the novel, then I will send you an email that says you do need to take the essay exam, and I will tell you exactly when to turn that in. So have a really good time with this. I think, honestly, that if you just breathe into this and look upon this as a challenge to be mastered, an enjoyable experience that takes you outside the norm of texting and emojis and magazines and into the world of classic plots and interesting triads of character conversations and plot details, I think you're going to enjoy this. I hope so. But in any case, we need to do this, and I need for you to do the right thing and follow the instructions. All right? Moving on. That concludes this tutorial.